Now, I think that we can all agree that things like protesting have really helped accelerate countries' progress. For example, with protesting, we are able to change laws, we're able to change economic plans, we're able to change cultural stuff. We can do pretty much anything with being able to protest. Because of this, being able to protest is a fundamental right that's been given to developed countries. There are some communities out there that will use protesting as a general concept to absolutely mess with other people's daily lives. One of the clearest examples of this is Just Stop Oil. If you don't know who they are, these are people that are protesting big oil companies about how they need to protect the environment because of global warming and all that sort of stuff. It's like a crazier version of Greta Thunberg, really. I did hear about them a while ago, but I never realized how fucking crazy these people were. I just thought that the media were just over exaggerating them, because that's what the media likes to do. They like to sort of over exaggerate things so they can get more eyes on their screen.
They are a sort of end time apocalyptic cultist movement of a kind that Londoners and others have seen throughout history. People who go gibbering through the streets screaming about the imminence of the apocalypse.
However, when I saw this video, I was like, yo, these guys are fucking crazy. Like, let me just play some of this shit for you. This is wild. Oh my fucking god. After getting dragged across the floor like a fucking rag, this guy actually thinks that it's a good idea to go back up and fucking stand in front of a fucking truck. Oh, dude. These guys they just need help. Do these guys have, like, jobs? Do these guys, like, have families and shit? I just want to know, because don't you have things to be doing besides stopping people from doing their job? I don't know what this is supposed to accomplish here. You're stopping one truck out of probably thousands. What are you doing? All this driver needs to have is one bad day, and you guys are going to be roadkill. I want to explain to you something. When you go on a highway and you get in front of, 7 lanes of traffic, you are going to get hauled off that shit very, very quickly. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. So the fact that these people have come out here with, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to accomplish, getting in other people's way, it doesn't surprise me that this is the reaction people have to these groups. It just doesn't surprise me. I also don't think that the people who are like dealing with these protesters even know the driver. I think they're just mad because they're blocking the road. People have things to do. People have jobs to go to. People have other people to meet. It doesn't surprise me that when you get on a road, that this is the hostility that you're met with. Okay, I'm just saying. And I do think that it's also funny that groups of the same political background are also having the same problem with these people. This is just friendly fire at this point.
They're even disrupting groups that they're usually in support of, with not even pride parades safe.
Now, I'm 90% sure that if I ask any political group what are their thoughts on Just Stop Oil, I think they'll say all the same thing. They have a good message. I think we should be, careful about how we treat the environment. But how they convey their message is completely irrational. However, I do think that this prompts like a really important question that we need to address as a society. How do we do protests? Now, it could just be me, but when I think of protests,
most protests that I see are done in cities. And the people in the media are saying that the reason why people are mad is because it's interfering with their day-to-day lives.
The freedom to protest doesn't extend to disrupting the lives of everyday people trying to go about their business.
To stop oil protesters, it's going to be hard for them to get out of people's way when they're in a dense city, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, Just Stop Oil has pretty much interfered with sports games, and I completely agree. I don't think that you should be in sports. I don't think that you should interfere with them because it's just low-hanging fruit, to be honest. The second thing is that they often go out on the streets, and it's like, yeah, of course, that's where cars are, but it's like, how did we used to protest? Back in the day, I think that we did the same thing, right? Am I wrong? And lastly, if you're in a city, what you're going to find is that a lot of people are going to be walking on the sidewalks. So what does that mean? You can't go to events, you can't really go on the road, you can't go on the sidewalk because in theory, you're all interfering with people's day-to-day lives.
Disrupting the lives of everyday people trying to go about their business.
Now, whether it's policy or just unwritten rules, I think it's very important for society to sort of explain to people what is okay and what is not. Because right now, we don't really have anything like that. I also think that when we talk about policy, I do think it's really important to also mention that sometimes that on paper a policy might be really good, however in practice it may turn shit. So what is the actual solution here? To be completely honest, I don't know.
The climate crisis causes societal collapse. Who do you think will suffer first? Do you think the straight white man is going to suffer before the queer people? No. We are going to die if we do not fight for our lives.
Just like all crazy movements, they all have to be led by some crazy fucking woman. Like, just listening to her kind of makes me wonder, why do people even take her seriously? And in my opinion, I think it's because, like, the actual movement is good, but it's just ran by some of the most crazy people you'll ever see in your life. Now, guys, I don't want to alarm you, but this is kind of what cults do. They say that, oh, the world is in danger, we need to act. They always have something to be fighting. That's kind of, it's just what they do. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next.